back to iPulse News Live. You may notice that our program differs slightly from the norm this season. Some of us are here recording in the studio, but some of us are reporting remotely to maintain safe social distancing protocols. Those of us in the studio will be wearing masks, and we ask that you bear with us as we do our best to bring you the news and keep our team safe. Now, here's the news.
I am Mariela Guzman, reporting from Boca Raton, Florida. After the passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Utah Senator Mitt Romney has spoken out saying he will be supporting President Donald Trump in filling the empty seat. Although many Republican senators are standing by Trump, some have also opposed him. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski said she opposes voting before the election. Romney told reporters that with Trump's nominee, it will become more conservative. Trump is looking to announce his new replacement on Saturday. Romney also said if the nominee reaches the Senate, he will be voting based on their qualifications.
I'm Nicole Rees. Everyone knows about the California wildfires, but now the problem moves to the wildfires in Brazil. Millions of acres are up in flames. In Brazil, there have been more than 15,000 fires this year that have burned everything in their path. The main cause of these fires seems to be the over-excess of heat due to climate change. However, the Brazilian president is a climate change denier and continues to say Brazil does a wonderful job protecting its environment. Brazil's forest systems are in danger due to the combination of drought and fires. While there are many recovery efforts in place, some of the burn scars in this environment will never recover.
I'm Beverly Bukesi. The U.S. death toll from coronavirus has now reached over 200,000 deaths. The death toll number is based off of official reports of 200,000 deaths. However, it is expected that the death toll is much greater than that. There may have been other complications along with victims having coronavirus. Along with this, testing was scarce in the beginning of the pandemic. The University of Washington expects the death toll to double to over 400,000 by the end of the year. A vaccine is not expected to be available until 2021.
I'm Marissa McGrady. In more news, 2 police officers in Johannesburg, South Africa are being charged with murder after attempting to cover up their fatal shooting of 16-year-old Nathaniel Julies. Protests and civic unrest immediately broke out with outcries against police brutality and corruption. Julies, who had severe Down syndrome and could not form complete sentences, was visiting his favorite local store to buy cookies the evening he was murdered. The officers responsible removed Julie's body from the scene without reporting it and transported the body to the hospital without informing the family. Authorities initially alleged that Julies was shot in an exchange of gunfire between the police officers and gang members. However, 2 of the officers involved are now being charged with murder, and all 3 officers are now charged with obstruction of justice.
I'm Trey Johnson. There's pushback in the Center of Disease Control and Prevention decision to retract the recent advisory. Ex-FDA Chief Gottlieb tells CNBC the misinformation of the airborne transmission of COVID-19 is deeply concerning. New York Times reports that the Trump administration has been constantly interfering with the CDC's information. Gottlieb suggests to CDC, quote, "You need to be able to accept that the material being put out by an organization, by an agency, represents the view of that agency," end quote.
I'm Abigail Sears. Africa continues to do better than prior corona death toll predictions. Africa's numbers have been leveling off, confirming only 34,000 deaths on the continent that has near 1.3 billion people. Health experts believe Africa's early lockdowns, later arrival of the virus, and the young population are all factors as to why COVID-19 hasn't caused more damage. Africa continues to receive praise as their leadership has been doing their best despite limitations to resources.
I'm Carmia Valentine. There has been the largest mass stranding of pilot whales in Australia's island state of Tasmania in years. Tasmania Parks and Wildlife Service Manager Nick Decca told reporters 270 whales are stranded on a beach and 2 sandbars on the west coast. 25 have been rescued since yesterday morning, and the numbers are expected to rise slowly through today. Surviving whales are expected to last several days as long as weather stays cool, but about 1/3 of them were dead by Monday night. It is currently unclear how the whales became stranded.
I'm Nick Zukowskis, reporting from the New York Giants facilities, where almost 100 players across the league suffered injuries this past weekend. Saquon Barkley, one of many stars across the league that has suffered a season-ending injury. No preseason and less training due to coronavirus didn't affect play in the opening week, but with all the injuries last weekend, preseason may be here to stay in the future.
I'm Samantha Delvell. In Oregon, many state parks and nature preserves have been severely damaged by wildfires that originally started in California. Their biggest hit was the Collier Memorial State Park, which lost about 400 acres of land and historic monuments. The fires also impacted Oregon's largest and most popular state park, Silver Falls, and burned down buildings and a large amount of forest. Opal Creek Wilderness, a forest that's over 100 years old, have been horribly impacted by the wildfires and is currently the main cause of concern to environmentalists as they're unsure of its rate of recovery.
That's our news for today. Be sure to check out the iPulse website, app, and Facebook page. And remember, wear a mask. I'm Marissa McGrady.